Disney Star Wars. The Force Awakens, it's so much like A New Hope. I hate it.
Yeah.
Last Jedi, it's so different from Star Wars. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, shit.
Yeah. So it's like you can't really win.
All right, welcome back to Child of Light. Okay, so let's continue our tangent of thought. The Disney sequels, you have not seen any or just not that many?
That rhymed.
Yes, it did.
I get it because we're doing Child of Light and everything in this game rhymes, except for Rubella. Okay.
Oh, I meant to do that.
Sure. So there are very, very select sequels that I've seen, and most of them I believe have actually been Pixar.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like,
I got you.
I've seen The Incredibles 2 briefly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was that memorable.
Before the Disney live-action remakes, it was the sequels that got a lot of flack.
Yeah.
But I prefer the sequels because they were just direct-to-DVD.
Yeah.
Which, if the remakes were just direct-to-DVD...
Well, like, the whole thing,
thing
was, like, I think I saw an ad for, like, Cinderella 3, and I was like, holy shit, there was a Cinderella 2?
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, there's, like, 4 or 5 Cinderellas, and it just blew my mind. Same with, like, the Aladdins, and I liked Aladdin, but, like,
There was an Aladdin television show.
I didn't know any of that. Like, the sequels blew my mind. Like, I had no idea. There was, like, 3 Ariels. Like, Ariel has a daughter.
Oh, yeah, the Little Mermaid, too.
Like, it just is weird.
Oops,
like, it's so weird.
There we go.
But yeah, I haven't seen any of the sequels. Even Lion King, which surprises a lot of people.
Lion King has one of the better sequels,
like,
in my honest opinion.
I knew of the Lion King sequels, mainly because I, like, Lion King 1.5.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I knew that there were Lion King sequels, because Lion King 1.5, like, blew up.
That movie's funny.
There are sequels to movies that I had no idea had sequels. It's... I don't really have a desire to watch them, though. Like, there's not even
You'd be surprised. Some of them are okay.
There's not even a curiosity.
Honestly, if I get stuck watching more of those fucking Disney Channel movies like Sweet Life, I'd rather throw in some sequels. Also, I'd rather watch sequels than the remakes. Because the sequels didn't halt production on actual, like, Disney animated pictures. Like the remakes did. Oh, let's have 4 remakes in 1 year and no animated movie since Moana.
Yeah.
That certainly won't piss people off.
I don't like...
Let's cancel one.
I don't... See, I'm not necessarily hating on, like, original Disney Channel movies. Like, I've definitely grown out of them. I loved them when I was a kid. I waited.
They were never my thing, so I just kind of like, not for me.
I remember, like, I would go to my grandma's house after school and watch TV and stuff while I did homework, and I remember seeing, like, advertisements for them, so I would always go over to her house when they would come out so that I could watch them, and, like...
Yeah.
Brink? Come on, Brink. The 13th year. Nothing.
Is that the one with the merman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic.
That one was one of my favorites. Okay.
Merman.
Don't hate. Brink was another one that was, like, one of my favorites.
Okay.
The one where they roller skate. They're inline skaters.
Is Cool Runnings a Disney Channel original movie?
I don't believe so.
Oops.
I don't know. I could be. Who knows? But yeah, like, the old ones, I definitely love them. And I'm sure the new ones are just as good for their age bracket. But I'm too old to enjoy them now.
Like...
You're never too old to watch them if you enjoy it, but, like, I don't find
I have no ill will towards the original movies.
Yeah.
They're not for me. I kind of ignore the sequels. They're not for me. I have an unhealthy bile towards the live-action remakes.
Well, like, the
for
thing is...
numerous reasons.
Okay, so the Disney original channel movies, the thing that I don't like what they've done is, they've gone to theater. So they're not, like, made for TV
technically,
anymore.
they've gone to Disney Plus.
Well, now they've gone to Disney
Because theater
Plus.
is no longer a thing.
But they're also basing them off of, like, TV shows. So you have, like, the Sweet Life movie. You have the Hannah Montana movie. You have, like...
The Even Stevens movie.
The
Lizzie McGuire movie.
So it's, like, instead of the original movies...
Did That's So Raven have a movie?
I don't know.
That's a little rude.
I'm sure it has a A reboot?
Eee, monster in a chest.
Yeah, it has a reboot, Raven's House, where like Raven and her friends are adults and they have kids, and
Is that
it's
like Corey in
about
the House?
Girl Meets World. Yeah,
What?
it's similar to Girl Meets World, which is Boy Meets World for kids now.
Sure.
So that's what they're
Like
doing.
Fuller House?
Exactly. Like
Okay,
Fuller
now
House.
I'm following.
Yeah,
on.
exactly like Fuller House, where they're taking like the 90s sitcoms and rebooting them for like modern time.
Okay.
So it's like Corey and Topanga are married and they have like 3 kids or whatever, and it's like Girl Meets World is about their kids.
Uh-huh.
So
Well.
yeah, That's So Raven had a reboot.
Okay.
But I remember like in the 90s, early 2000s, whenever I was watching the original Disney Channel movies, it wasn't like that these shows were getting movies. It was like an actual original movie.
Hey, that wasn't
like,
bad. He did his powerful attack, and because I blocked, it only did like 36 damage. I'm sorry, continue.
Nice. I'm just rambling. You're almost dead.
You're a rambling man.
I'm a rambling
I
man.
was born a rambling man.
You went to like a legit song, and I went to the song Bender writes in Futurama.
Ah!
For sure.
Woo! Just 2 HP left.
Ah,
Hang on. I can turn this charade around.
heal.
Alright, good. Don't worry. He's got his armor. I just need to heal and hope that this demon doesn't screw me over. Smolder gash. Oh, whew, thank God for fire resistant. I think we'll be okay.
Oh, and there's no more. Oh, is that flower lit up? Or
Yeah,
is it...
that flower over there is lit up.
I mean,
Good. I was able to use a potent healing tonic.
tonic.
And there's a counterattack. Hooray for me. See, now I can counterattack.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That's a skill that you just got.
Rubella got her counter heal. Aurora got her counter attack. Things are looking up.
Things are looking up.
All right, there we go. Nice.
Ta-da! Da-da-da-da!
All right, so we're going to clear this area out of the monsters and solve this. What else we got here? Okay, I want to make my way to Light Ray All. I think that'd be very helpful.
Yeah.
That way I can obliterate the darkness.
Get rid of the darkness. There's like, okay, so writing stories and like developing stories and stuff like that for games or for just like regular short stories or novels.
Yeah.
I really want to like find a way to make a plot line work where you don't obliterate the darkness. Like the darkness isn't the bad one. You know what I mean? I just think that'd be really interesting to see how that would work of like the darkness is your friend.
Stories like that. Where you must embrace the darkness.
Say I don't even want to say like embrace, like because that still has such a negative connotation of like accept your fate. Like
Okay.
I kind of want to see one or create one myself where the darkness is actually your friend. Like it kind of like
so
how
not like the game called The Darkness, where it's kind of like the symbiote from Venom.
I know some of those words.
Okay, the symbiote is that
it's
like
the yeah. I was not on the mindset.
Okay.
wave. Okay. We're back. I'm back. I'm back to reality. Eminem. And the real some shady.
Eddie.
Okay.
But yeah, symbiote is like it possesses Eddie Brock. Well, first it
Yeah.
gets Peter Parker, then it gets Eddie Brock, and then he becomes Venom.
Kind of. Like
So there's a game Darkness where it's kind of like that, where the darkness is like an entity.
Yeah.
And like it's on your side, but it also has its own gain.
yeah. I just kind of like how she has like the light overpowers all the darkness and
Yes.
the darkness is bad and you want to like fill the world with light.
Yes.
I kind of want to see something where it's the opposite, like where the darkness is comfort, like it's cozy and warm, just as the light is. I just think it would be an interesting concept. I don't know how well it would work because I think we talked about this outside of a video once, just when we were chatting of...
I have a hunch what you're going to bring up, but go on.
Well, no, of just like when storylines are predictable. So when it's like we bitch about them being predictable, like, oh, well, I mean, that twist, who wouldn't have figured that out? But when we break that, like, predictability, we also don't like it.
Okay.
Where it's like, well, that came out of left field. That was stupid. Why'd they do that? Like, so it's almost like
I can vouch for
like
that.
us as viewers, maybe not us personally, but like viewers are never really truly satisfied.
Right.
Because if it's too predictable, it's bad. But if it's like, if the twist is actually a twist of something you weren't expecting, it's almost like it's still just as bad.
Well, yeah, it's weird because it's like, I'll use Star Wars because everyone can make fun of Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Disney Star Wars. The Force Awakens. It's so much like A New Hope. I hate it.
Yeah.
Last Jedi. It's so different from Star Wars. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, shit.
Yeah. So it's like you can't really win. So I'm curious as to how it would work if you like almost role reverse the light and the dark of the dark is not bad. It's not like the bad part of the game. I wonder
I'm sure
if that
there's
would be
games like that. None are coming to my mind.
Yeah. I'm just curious about it. Let me know what you guys think, if that'd be a story that you'd be into.
I mean, I know in Darksiders, like, you are the riders of the apocalypse. So, like, there is no, like, good and evil.
Well, like, I'm currently...
The hierarchies are kind of, like, out for their own game.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm currently writing a story that if you guys are interested in, I can talk more about later. Drop me a line. But it's based on that, where like the main characters are actually trying to start the apocalypse rather than like the standard everyone is like, oh no, we have to stop it, the end of the world. Right. These people are like, listen, we got to start the apocalypse. Like they're trying to start the apocalypse.
Okay.
So it's kind of like almost like you're the bad guy, but you're like rooting for the bad guy.
See, that sounds a little like Golden Sun. Okay. Because Golden Sun 1 is about you have to stop the lighthouses from being lit. It will doom the world. And Golden Sun 2 is light the lighthouses.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the concept
and, like, it's very well executed because like the heroes of the first are kind of like the enemies of the second, but they're not the villains. They're just the enemies. Like there's more to it. Okay. There's shades of gray. Yeah. There's someone who wants to play both sides for his own personal gain.
Well, I mean, I just really like those types of stories in general where it's not standard cookie cutter like fantasy superhero style.
Took my shit and ran.
Took my shit and ran.
I don't have the right oculi for these guys, so.
Oh, get out of there.
Go on, I be crafting.
But yeah, I really enjoy the types of stories where it's like not necessarily a hero, but like an anti-hero. Yeah. Same with the villain isn't a villain, they're more of like an anti-villain. Where their roles really aren't so different. So it's not like the clear cut, you are the good guy, they're the bad guy. It's like, well, I mean, it's almost like Thanos before he went nuts at the very end. Of like, you're kind of like, oh no, he's the bad guy. But he has a point though. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's kind of the type of character that I absolutely love, where you're like, well, we should be rooting against him, but right. I mean, he's kind of got a good point going. So I like the idea of like flirting with that line of are you the hero, are you the villain? So it's really, now for me personally, since I'm more of a reader and a writer than a gamer, I'm starting to become a gamer. But for those types of characters that it's up to the viewer, the reader, or the gamer to decide who's the hero, who's the villain. Yeah. Based on your own personal thoughts. Okay. So I kind of like that idea of character development more than like Superman. Right. He is very clearly the good guy. The good guy, yeah. You know? So I like more complex characters, I guess.
Okay, yeah. I can go either way. All depends on the execution. Yeah. Like, I feel like Child of Light does, like, the standard tropes very good. Oh, yeah. To where, like, it's very appealing. It's simple, but there's a charm to it.
It's enjoyable.
And it works. There's a charm there that helps the story go. Like, the main antagonist, we haven't even seen the main antagonist yet, but like they serve their purpose. Whereas there's other games where like the characters are very complex and like everyone's changing sides and you don't know really who you're rooting for, even as the main character.
I feel like it would be more challenging in a game than like reading it in a story.
Yeah, it's a lot more challenging in a game because it's just like, well, these are the actions that I'm doing. Right. Although, God of War comes really close to where it's just like, am I the bad guy?
Does he want me to put handcuffs on this baby? Oh shit, are we the bad guys? Well, like,
oh, jeez.
so, because I mean, I even have those thoughts when I'm playing in a standard game that is like, you are playing as the good guy. These are the bad guys. Beat the bad guys. And it's like, I said that when we were playing Child of Light, and I'm battling like the Rabbites, and I'm just like, how fucked up is it that we just go in?
Magna.
What did I say?
Child of Light.
Oh, for sure. That's because we're playing Child of Light right now.
I was rolling with you.
I'm looking at it.
I was rolling with you until you said rabbis, and I said
you were
nope.
waiting until okay. When we were playing Trials of Mana, how do you rewind a rant? Okay. Anyway, we were fighting the Rabbites, and I was like, wow, it's kind of messed up that like we just go into their home territory, beat the shit out of them, and leave.
Yep.
Like, it's not a heroic action.
They got experience. What can I tell you? Gotta get that EXP. Kick a rabbit. Oh boy, 12 gold. Kill a gopher.
Yeah. It's just like, it's weird. It's a very weird concept to me that, because even in Child of Light, the game we are playing now, I did not make a mistake. I am actually talking about Child of Light. So when we go to like the village and they're like, hey, our village has been overrun by monsters. Can you help us? That little teeny tiny bit of dialogue and story lets you know, like, okay, these monsters deserve to be fought because they have invaded someone else's home.
Right.
So they're not just like chilling in their web in their own home, minding their business, and then here comes Aurora with her sword, like, I'm gonna cut you down.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of games like that. Xenoblade is a big one where like you'll roam around. It's just like, look at that lovely, peaceful dinosaur. Thwack!
Yeah, like I understand that it is a game. Like,
yeah.
That it serves its purpose as a game. It's just interesting to me, the whole idea and the concept. And sorry, I have the hiccups now. And more of like a philosophical way, I guess.
Yeah, there's a couple games that like challenge that, like Undertale. That's fine. Undertale is about like moral choices in games, and like you gotta spare enemies where you can kill them, and there's consequences, and there are results.
Meow.
But it's well, it's not my kind of game. Let's just say that.
See, and that's the thing is, I feel like if that's the entire premise of the game is like, what moral choices will you make? I don't think it'd be fun.
It beats you over the head with it.
I don't think it'd be fun because I feel like then you're just digesting the same shit you get everywhere else. Like, it's no longer like a release of fun activity. I feel like playing games, you can be a little violent or a little weird, and it's getting it out and through the game versus out in real life.
Yeah.
So I feel like having a game where it's like,
again, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not selling this game well at all, like, so probably.
I mean, again, like, I won't not try it just because of how you feel about it, because I have my own opinions.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying I'm not giving this game a fair shake because I don't really have opinions about it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it wasn't for me. I tried it. I understood what the premise was. I wasn't compelled to keep going, surprisingly, so I don't know.
See, I like the idea of consequence in games when it assists the gameplay. So, like, if you steal an item in a game, there's a consequence. Or
correct.
If you help a character in a game, there's a reward.
Right.
So I like that kind of system when it propels the story of that game forward.
That's Undertale.
Not when it's the whole premise of the game. Does that make sense?
It's both in Undertale. Okay. It's everything.
It's everything.
Yeah, every choice, every decision you make, every dialogue, all has a result.
Oof.
So, and I mean, some people love it. I'm just like,
yeah.
Meh.
I like making my own.
Kind of took this a little extreme, in my opinion.
I think I like making my own, formulating my own thoughts about that in a game. I don't want to be preached to.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest issue, was like, you have to pick one or the other 100%.
Yeah.
You cannot ride that gray line,
that
shade of gray that I'm so comfortable in.
Yeah.
I am a very, like, shade of gray fellow.
Well, it's not.
I like to dab in both.
Again, it's not only that, but it kind of goes a little bit deeper.
Deeper? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should dive into this in the next part.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
I think
right.
because it's a thought, for sure. It's a thought.
All right. We'll see you guys on the next part as we go around, try to get more XP because, well...
We need to win some battles.
Yeah, we need to win some battles.
Look, there's the guy. You flew away from the guy.
Well, I gotta get prepped. Adios.
Toodles!